I'd be surprised if we got to fight. I would love it. And if the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't fight me either. And that's not me bigging myself up. It's just like, why would you not fight a guy that's 42, 43, a million miles on the clock, and then backdoor it, as opposed to fighting like this guy who's just steamrolling everybody? Yeah. And I think it's smart. I don't think he's scared. He's Jon Jones, mate. He's not scared of anybody, but
he understands that the risk that you bring is significantly greater than Miocic. Miocic in his best never looked like you look like now.
Like Jon Jones has had one fight at heavyweight against Cyril Gane, who, let's be honest, didn't fucking want to be there.
One-dimensional as well, Cyril.
Yeah, that was his one fight in 3 years. So he's had one fight at heavyweight. Stipe has had one fight in 4 years and he got knocked out. It's fucking weird, mate. I don't...
This is actually worse than anything boxing has ever done in terms of protecting fighters, because at least in the heavyweight division, at some point, you will fight a live dog within 3 years.
Yeah.
And by the time these guys do fight, it'll be one fight in 4 years, one fight in 5 years. Like, how can that possibly represent the best fighting the best? The sport moves so quickly.
I couldn't agree more, mate, honestly.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
And even look in the Cyril Gane fight with Jon Jones before the takedown. Jon Jones looked slow.
Yeah.
That body shot he threw where he missed him completely. I'm like, if you do that to Tom Aspinall, your head's coming clean off, mate. Like,
I agree. I do agree.
It's frustrating. So frustrating.
I just don't understand it, mate. And it's difficult for me to speak in interviews and stuff about it, because everyone's like, you fucking disrespecting one of the best ever. No, I'm not at all. I want a shot. Like, I want my shot. Simple as that. I think I'm the fucking #1 heavyweight in the world right now. I truly, truly believe it. Let me prove it. That's all I'm asking. Let's not forget
though, Jon Jones's last few fights at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
He did not look good, mate.
I know.
He looked poor. Like, going to a decision against Anthony Smith, with all due respect, Smith, a credible competitor, it didn't look good. And also my caveat on every Jon Jones fight up until heavyweight was, you were a heavyweight who trained yourself down to light heavyweight.
And if you look at his actual resume, most of the guys he fought were middleweights.
Michida went to middleweight, Shogun went to middleweight, Chael Sonnen middleweight, and like Chael Sonnen wanted you on 24 hours notice and you wouldn't show up for that.
Yeah.
So I just think that, I think Jon Jones, as great as his legacy is, it's incomplete without fighting a live dog at heavyweight. And you are that. I'd hold my hands up. If he fights you, then you're legitimately the heavyweight champion of the world, because it's the best fight in the best.
Yeah.
But a win over Cyril Gane, who was never the champion, does not make you...
All hype and talk aside, I genuinely want to find out who's the best, me or him. Because I think he's one of the best fighters ever. I literally believe that 100%. I'm a massive, massive Jon Jones fan. I want to find out, is what I'm doing in the gym and what I'm doing is that right to fucking beat the best guy ever?
It will be.
And I think it is. I believe it is. And I want to test it. But obviously right now, it doesn't seem like I'm getting the opportunity for it.
Well, when you look at the way he fought against OSP, big guy. Yeah. Is it Alexander? Yeah. Big guy.
Same with Dominic Reyes.
Yeah. Dominic Reyes. All of these 6'4" guys who he hasn't got a major size advantage over and strength advantage over, he struggled big time. They did not have the speed and power you do. He defends well, but with your ability to connect and hurt people, I just don't see a way for him to win that fight.
I completely
agree. Shocked.
And I don't know what to do to get that fight.
I'm doing good. I mean, I didn't get touched. Look at my face, man. I don't got a scratch on it. I mean, looking at it back, I doubled him in strikes count. I had 5 minutes of control time. He didn't have 1 minute. So I feel like I beat him in the fight. I broke my foot in like the first 30 seconds of the fight that people don't know about yet. The x-rays will start coming
straight up, because you're in a boot. I mean, people can't obviously see it, but you broke your foot in the first minute of the fight?
The first minute of the fight. Like, I had the picture on my phone, like the exact moment where it landed on his elbow.
No shit.
Yeah.
Can we see it?
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
First minute.
And
first minute.
And Colby, right off the, once that strike hits, Colby, in your head, you're like, it's broke.
Yeah, you know
it.
You feel it swelling up where you're just like, oh, like that. At the end of the first round, you're just like, man, that hurts. Like, usually I sit on the stool, and I didn't want to sit down in the stool.
Is it the elbow? Hit the elbow.
Landed right on the right elbow, the top of the foot.
Wow.
It's tough, it limits your mobility. Like, I couldn't really move after that. I was kind of stuck in place, and I was just trying to make sure that I could get through the fight. I never quit. You gotta, I always channeled the strength of the first responders in our military, because that's the cloth that I was cut from. My grandfather flew in the Korean and Vietnam Wars, so if he's looking down on me, he's not going to be happy unless I fight to the end. Fight to the death, and that's my mentality when I go into the octagon. It's kill or be killed every time.
Which pain is a worse pain? Is it the left ankle or is it the thigh?
Oh, it was the left ankle.
Not
for
even
sure.
close.
Yeah, I was compensating on it. You know, I wasn't really able to step on it, so that's why he was landing a couple leg kicks on my right thigh because my left foot was broken. So I was kind of putting all my weight on my right thigh, and that's terrible. When I started towards the end of the fight, I was like, you know what, just deal with the pain and start lifting up your right leg and start checking some of these kicks. You know, and he didn't start kicking after like the 4th round because he started feeling that I was catching his timing with the kicks, and he didn't want to break his leg on my knee. So they had no idea until I told him afterwards when I was limping backstage. They're like, dude, what happened? I was like, the first kick that I threw landed on his elbow, and they're like, why didn't you tell us?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Because I've learned in prior fights that the whole world's going to see that, and they're just going to go tell him on the broadcast. You see how quick social media is these days, so they can literally get that information within seconds of seeing it on the broadcast. So, you know, it's the first time in my career I didn't sit on the stool after every round. After the 5 rounds, I just stayed standing up because I could feel my foot swelling up, and I didn't want to sit down and get comfortable. I wanted to stay standing up and just dig down deep to get through the fight.
Tony Ferguson should retire. And I really try to limit trying to show a man the door because nobody knows when someone's done until they know that they're done. Only Tony knows when it's time. But it seems as though he's the only one left that isn't sure. Everybody else feels pretty certain that that time has come for Tony Ferguson. Paddy Pimblett fought really well in the first round. And he did a good job with his grappling. But I don't know, man. He told us that he had made all these improvements in his striking and he was going to keep his chin down as he approached the striking. It just looked the same. And it was a decision victory against Tony Ferguson, who lately has not been able to get to the final bell inside of his fights. Granted, he was fighting Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje and Nate Diaz. He's fighting killers, right? I don't know, man. I don't think Paddy fought bad, but I think that he needed to do a little more. That's why it pisses me off so much when people compare everybody to Conor McGregor. When Conor McGregor was on his way up, he was finishing dudes. And he was knocking dudes clean. He was doing his thing. He was doing his thing. It was never close.
Exceptional performance in terms of how he held pressure on Colby for the majority of the time. I feel like he was still being a little bit tentative, especially after you've clearly won 3 rounds. You should let go, open up a little bit more. You know, he's already damaged the leg. I feel like he could have done a little bit more to capitalize. He's already taken him down. You've already got him. I stood up on him in that time. Now it's like, well, this guy can do nothing to me. I should now start landing a few more combinations and actually trying to finish the fight. Even if it was a case of, you know, tell your coaches, when there's a minute left of this round, let me know and I'm going to open up because, you know, I'm going to control that round to the 4th minute means you're not going to win. And then I'm going to open up and try and put you away. Just for the last 2 rounds, I feel like he literally could have finished that fight. But outside of that, I'm happy for him, especially that he kind of explained how his head was spinning, you know, with all of what Colby had said. But yeah, congratulations to Leon. And I just kind of look forward to being a part of this whole package that's in the UFC. Every time I see him, it's cool, shake hands, no issues. I have actually been out of him a couple of times, but it's just usually just because we just happen to be in the same areas and stuff, or around the same events and stuff. And again, no issues. He's actually been to one of my events. The fact is, we're prize fighters, and when the time comes, yeah, we're going to get to work. And I can already see it. I can already envision it. I can already see MVP, Leon, Rocky Edwards in the UK, 2 British fighters. That is going to be unbelievable.
Well, that's why I was asking, because I feel like this would be gigantic, right? 2 British guys fighting for the belt. How far away do you think we are from that?
If you look at the Chandler route, I'm definitely in that. I'm definitely on that mode. It can't be long. Like you said, in here for a good time, not a long time. So I just want to come in and make as much noise as possible.